Hi, this is Meir, your friend speaking. I'm sitting here with staff and practitioners of the School for Self-Healing, and I'm so happy that so many of you are visiting our website, our Facebook. I've heard of many people who also share the message of the week with friends, and please keep doing it. The topic today is macular degeneration. So many people these days experience this terrible illness where the central vision completely disappears. And when the central vision disappears, it becomes so hard. People can't write, read, count bills, and much is being compromised in life. It's not pleasant to look at someone's face and not see his or her nose. But it happens to millions of people these days. And correction, millions in the United States, but hundreds of millions worldwide. It is really a terrible illness. But no illness starts just when all of a sudden you wake up and you don't see something. The illness starts years before. These days, we look at too many details at once. The macula, which is very important in our visual system, can only look at one small detail at a time because it's only 1.5% of all the cells in the photoreceptor area of the retina. The photoreceptors of the macula are mainly cones, and their vision is so sharp. But we lose it by not using it, and we also lose it by not having enough blood flow to the head. The main reasons for macular degeneration is first of all being overwhelmed with how many details we see, and then not paying attention to details because for us they're not important. You have to start and change your habit and start to look at everything to preserve your macula, which is so precious to you and to all of us. But there's another reason, which is poor blood flow. Two main reasons to lose your central vision, but then there are a third and fourth one as well. One reason is that we don't get enough blood flow, and so we don't energize our phagocytosis actions. The phagocytes are just not working. You know, while we're alive, we have cells that are encouraged to be more alive, and there are cells that are encouraged to die. So while we're alive, what we need is to bring more blood circulation to our retina, which comes with a relaxed neck, but also with active vision, where we look from detail to detail. Of course, anyone who read my books and heard other messages of the week also waved their hands to the side and paid attention to the periphery. We also need to blink, so we bring much more life to our cornea and to the whole visual system through it. But nevertheless, we need blood flow, and it needs to come from two places. From the heart, without any blockage of any kind that can bring it to the retina, and we need more blood flow because of good use of our macula. And what happens quite often is that both are not happening. When you sit and you slouch with your neck, when you don't move enough, or when you exercise to a point of fatigue and muscle tension, both reasons, you may not get enough blood flow to the head and your neck may be stiff. So massage and movement can make a big difference. And while listening to me, why won't you just roll your skin, grab your skull and mobilize and start to create more space between your head and between your scalp and your skull, and get much more blood running in your head. Also, stretch your neck. Now, there's another reason why people have macular degeneration, and this is bleeding into the macula, which is again for the same reason, only it's more extreme. Not enough blood comes to the retina, so the retina forms new blood cells that are imperfect, so they hemorrhage and they leak, and that leaking leads to destruction. Now, physicians give us the illusion that they're solving the problems with laser treatments, so they are destroying the leaking blood vessels, which is wonderful for a moment, and that moment could last for as much as 5 years. We have better vision because with the treatment of Lucenta and Avastin and many others, physicians have been able to stop the bleeding for a while. But the bleeding never really stopped forever unless more blood flow comes. And so we can help people get much more blood flow and prevent the need for those injections, which eventually narrow the area where blood vessels are being formed in the retina. And it's very hard for it. But in the first place, we have to work on our body. Roll from side to side, sit cross-legged, move in rotating motion, bring more blood to the head. Loosen up the neck. A wonderful exercise is putting one hand over the other and moving the head in rotating motion while putting some pressure, nice mild pressure, over the face as if you're washing the face, and it brings much more blood. The main thing is, always blink. Always look at details. Always look at smaller details than you tend to see without straining to see them. That's the real base of it. So if you do that, and in my book, Vision for Life, you have a wonderful shifting chart. This exercise is called shifting, and it's one of the geniuses of Dr. Bates, that he understood that looking from detail to detail makes a difference. You can see in my book how I spoke about my daughter, that in spite of the fact that she doesn't have a lens, it was removed when she was a 2-week-old infant. She was able to restore incredibly good vision by looking at details, by connecting between the brain and the macula. So on the one end, the surgeries took away the obstruction, but her connection between the brain and the eye helped her very much to improve her vision. So the most important thing that I'm saying today, to preserve your macula, you need to keep that macula alive through life. To preserve your body, you need to mobilize it through life. And if you will do that by looking at details, you'll never have macular degeneration. And if you're unfortunate and you already had that, like many of my patients that lost so much vision, and we worked so hard to get it back, and they come to me from all over the world, literally from 4 corners of the world to work with me on that issue. To preserve that macula, we have to be vigilant. When you lost the macula, there are many wonderful exercises, like the patient that I have now, where we patch the eye that still sees something, and we worked on the eye that sees next to nothing, but we patch the area that sees, and with light we stimulate the areas that don't. What we also taught her was that eye to look at details, and consequently, the 2 eyes were working together, were teaming and working better. Follow the 9 principles in my book. Come and listen to my lectures. And preserve your vision. And in fact, with a lot of fun. So those of you who will come to my class, wear comfortable clothes, expect a lot of fun, many jokes, nice time, and yet learn the most important thing for your vision and for your body, to become more alive and be more present. Until next time, have a wonderful weekend and a wonderful vision. Your friend Meir.